This was a fun day at work. Ryan Clark alongside. As I mentioned when Troy and Joe and John were on with us, in the studio as we're watching that last Lions drive, you say to me, if they score, they go for two. We both were sure they would, right? You like that call?
I love that call. When you look at Dan Campbell, this is who he's been all season. He's believed in his team. He's gone for the win. And also, this is a team that's already clinched the NFC North. They know they're going to host at least one playoff game. Why not go out and get a statement win? Why not go out and show your team that you believe in them in any situation, any scenario, and they almost pulled it off, if not for a call made by the official.
He was furious at the presser.
And he ain't the one I want mad at me either.
No, that's a big man, and I thought he might just bust the thing up. And I get the anger because John Perry explaining to me and to our audience that it's on Taylor Decker to be more demonstrative in talking to Brad Allen. Like, aren't you trying to do that on the low?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're definitely trying to do it on the low. You don't want to draw attention to yourself. And he's going to go over to the defense and announce it anyway.
Right.
And so Taylor Decker, as a left tackle, is not walking over to the lead official for any reason other than to argue a call or to report as eligible. And it seems that he's doing that. Maybe, I don't know if Detroit's plan is we'll run Skipper onto the field and maybe it's a diversion for the defense and they don't recognize who's eligible, who's not. But I watched Taylor Decker walk over to him. I watch him try to have the conversation about being an eligible player. And the other piece is this: if they can't hear the official tell the defense who's reported as eligible, now Taylor Decker doesn't know to go make it clear to him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if he announces it over the mic, or if he lets both sides of the football know who's reported eligible, now Taylor Decker can make the adjustment. To Taylor Decker, I've walked over, I've talked to him already. He knows what's going on. I'm ready to catch this football for the touchdown.
You know what I thought was wild is after that penalty, they got backed up. They could have then kicked the extra. They could have then kicked the extra point if they chose to. They didn't. Then Parsons is offside, so they get a chance to run it back again, and they just aren't able to execute. So in the end, as we work our way backwards from the call and the flag that takes it off the field, the only reason they've even got that time is because Dallas, after a 2-minute warning, where there was a penalty that backs Dallas up, and Detroit's only got 2 timeouts, they threw the ball 3 times. I mean, I couldn't believe that.
This isn't the first time clock management has reared its ugly head in the Mike McCarthy era for the Dallas Cowboys. And I understand he's trying to be aggressive. He's trying to get an opportunity to get better field position or get the first down.
Right.
But you have a kicker who's been amazing throughout the entire season. You have a guy who's got opportunities to make field goals and it can make them for as deep as 60 yards. You don't have to be in a rush there. You don't have to throw the football. Why not make sure you waste as much time as you possibly can?
This was the one. The 2nd and 14 throw was the one that I was just really baffled by.
Right,
Because
it's the incompletion that stops the clock. CeeDee Lamb made every single play tonight. Why wouldn't you give him the opportunity and think players over plays? Mike McCarthy has done this too many times with the Dallas Cowboys, and not for that last call, Scott, we're having a different conversation.
No doubt. And there's a whole lot baked into this result. This call, that call, decisions. I think McCarthy, this is me speaking, I think he wears a convenient target, and a lot of people fire at that and say he makes a lot of mistakes. I think calls like this invite it. Does it concern you looking towards the playoffs? This guy might make a critical mistake.
It does concern me because it hasn't changed. We've seen this in very critical moments and crucial moments for this team come up not only in the regular season, Scott, we've also seen it in the playoffs going as far back as the wild card game against the San Francisco 49ers a few years ago at AT&T Stadium. He has to be more dialed in these moments, and I don't know if being the actual play caller allows him to do that and delegate that as well as he needs to either.
We got to go, but I want to ask you this last one quickly. Am I nuts to say that I leave this game almost a little bit more impressed with Detroit? If it's not for a 92-yard pass on a sack that should have happened but didn't, and then they roll the dice and come up short, like they left there with.
Scott, I think what's going to happen is you're going to look at the final score and forget that if not for a hellified play by Dak Prescott in the pocket that gets the football to CeeDee Lamb for a 92-yard touchdown, what Dan Campbell says about this defense is right. They do play well. Aiden Hutchinson does come up with a big play, and you actually find a way to score within the rules, and an official makes a mistake. The Detroit Lions are going to feel good about themselves. You played a team that was absolutely phenomenal at home and should have walked away with a win.
Tough one to swallow if you're Dan Campbell. I understand why he was looking for a place to put that gun and wadded it up in the paper.